Okay, should be recording. Y'all have links to the two free evaluations that are given. So one of them is the one of them's the gifts and strengths. Look at the learning style. It's all ultimate learning style checklist. And the second one is learning uniquenesses, aka anger shame checklist. So Um, so today, most likely, I'm going to get to go over the first one, which is the strengths and gifts, which is the ultimate learning style checklist. So y'all have the link, but I could put it back into the group. So
Yes,
let's
please.
open. Okay, not a biggie. So let me open it up, show y'all what people do, and then I'll show y'all what a completed one looks like. Okay. So if you wonder if I've been busy lately, look, I got 10 of them. I've probably gotten about 5 of them done. So I got like 5 more to interpret this week. But one day I'll have coaches, and coaches will interpret these and give the information to the tutor and parents. But one day, it's cross hands. So I won't be doing them all myself. No biggie, because the person creates it is the one who can do it faster, and I can get them done. I get these 5 done. I know I will this week. I got to. But I'll show you the ones I've completed, what they look like. So, and I want to share a parent's feedback from one of them. So I'm excited about. So the gifts and strengths checklist is something that, of course, came from Howard Gardner, because he looked at multiple intelligences. So Howard Gardner and Benjamin Bloom have a big influence on a lot of things, a lot of my program's inspiration. I've done a lot of I don't know, like presentations in graduate school on him and stuff. Like, I really admire his work, and that yet he's old school. It was like 1940s, 1950s. I'm saying 1940s, but it's still relevant. So he said people have multiple intelligences that you can scale. They're logical mathematical, which is numbers based. I can explain all of that if you need me to explain logical mathematical, but just think of people that constantly try to break down information from symbols, whether it be words or math equations. They're just always analyzing, breaking information down. Very, very factual. They're very forms and functions type. And so the next type is more like me, visual spatial. So what happened is I had a deficit in my logical mathematical intelligence. So I did overcompensation in my visual spatial, but it's also called early development. So my visual spatial is ridiculous. And so it's probably my number one multiple intelligence is visual spatial. Now, it's been a while since I took it myself. I'll take it today so y'all can see. And
The test?
It's what?
Yeah, you'll take the test again?
Yeah. Take this so y'all see what it looks like for
Okay.
synthetics too.
Sure.
So they're real artistical and spatial perspective. So basically, how I see it is we see in 3D. So like I look upon like things like visually, spatially. So I can put a map in my head and put where it belongs, and it's really weird. And one of my examples to parents about visual spatial is somebody says, Trisha, go set the table. I do a quick scan of the table. I don't even have to count out how many forks and knives to get. Once I'm just able to visually spatially pick out how many I need and to go get the right number almost every time. It's weird. But that's again for my overcompensation of my logical mathematical, which was the deficit. And that I was even diagnosed with a learning disorder. I haven't said that word in so long. Learning disability. I was diagnosed with learning disability, and that affect my reading and math, with a average or higher IQ. So that was interesting. So anyway, next is body kinesthetic, which should be one of my top. Excels at tasks that require physical movement. And it's a lot of our kids that are neurodiverse. They're going to be body kinesthetic also. When you ask them, how do you think you learn best? They're going to say by doing. And that doing either includes large or small motor. That's how we learn, by doing. The next is musical. They perceive and express musical forms and patterns, where I know a good bit that a balanced brain is musical on every aspect, but that's not going to be our kids with the balanced brain. So they're not, this is how it's going to look for our kids. It's going to be, they're good at the rhyme, not the rhyme, the rhythm, the chant, the pattern of music is what they're going to be good at. The language is where of music is going to be the deficit. So what's interesting is they can mark musical, and it'll be what I say is musical right, where they're good with, again, with the rhythm, the chant, the pattern of the music, the meter, and the tone of the music, but not good with the language of the music. So there's two different kinds of musical. But so this is the example for that I tell parents. So I'm logical, mathematical right. I mean, musical right, not left. So when I hear music, I literally don't hear the words. Like, I'm not comprehending the words. I'm like, what did that song mean? What did that song mean? Literally, I don't know what the songs mean, but I'm very good at picking out the tone and the rhythm and the meter and the pattern of music. I'm rhythmical, but cannot get the words to save my life. And to memorize a song is I'd have to hear it a ton. Okay, so next is linguistic. So there again, we have where my deficit would be linguistic, and that's using words effectively, basically. But we can compensate for that and make tools to be better at it, just as well as logical, mathematical. Now, the next is interpersonal skills. So I always think of I think of interstate, together. So interpersonal are people that work better with other people. They work better together with somebody. Interstate, interpersonal. But so which are most of our kids are interpersonal. We do better with working with people. We like people, animals, and nature a whole ton. Unless they've hurt us, then we'll withdraw, and with that shame, right? Withdraw, and then we won't want to work with people, animals, or nature as much. I mean, people as much. But literally, it's part of our brain to be able to have interpersonal skills. Okay, that's doing better with others. Now, intrapersonal is the opposite of interpersonal. So they are reflective and indirected. So they do not need to work with people. They don't want to work with people. Like I said, somebody can be naturally interpersonal, but become intrapersonal based off of bad experiences with working with people, like them shaming them in a group and stuff. So their natural ability is interpersonal. Hope that makes sense. So this is how the ultimate learning styles test is based off of Howard Gardner. When somebody gets it, I just share a link here. They're going to have to fill out the information. Then it starts, and I'll fill it out. Are you good with verbal directions? Do you understand things the first time it's said? I'm an absolute no on that. Oh, guess what? I have to share it to myself to be able to be able to answer it. This is the original. Okay, let me send it to myself. It's not a biggie. And thanks to Linda, I've learned how to put it in Rememberly. And I have my own little link to my own personal one. This is so cool. And I'm going to put Trisha Eval. And I'm gonna put 1 because this is the first one I've done. So she eval 1. Okay. So now I can open up this link and fill it out. So let me do that. It's gonna make me fill in the information. Okay. Today's date, 4/13/2021. Observer's name, that would be me observing myself, because that's where the coach's name would go, would be the observer, or the parent who's filling it out. Observer's email, that's me again. Phone number. I'll put a fake one because I have to upload this to YouTube to get it. And then I don't make it private, just make it public because I don't even know if y'all could see if I made it private. I will not put my age on. I'm just kidding. I'm proud of my age. 46. I had to think about it. Okay, now, are you good at verbal directions? Absolutely not. Okay, do you enjoy using computers, tablets, or technology? Yes. Do you have a good memory for names, places, ideas, and trivia, dates of trivia? Oh, heck no. No, do. Get somebody's name is.
Sorry, you pressed the wrong button. You pressed yes.
Thank you. Do you think in images and pictures? Definitely. That's a yes. Do you remember melodies of songs? No. Do you spend your free time engaging? Yes. In art activities? And do you like to write? That's good. I used to not like to, but now I love it. So I'm gonna put yes. Do you ask questions like, oh gosh, is the universe gonna end? When did time begin? Heck yeah, I ask those questions. I've always been too deep of a thinker, if you ask me. It's been a burden, all kind of. Do you learn through large body movement? Yes, I have to do something to be able to learn it better. Can you tell when a musical note is off key? No, I'm supposed to be marking yes, because I said we're go with rhythm, rhyme, all that. But I think with my auditory deficit, more of no, I am not going to be able to tell. And I don't have music background. Like nobody taught me musical stuff. I mean, they did teach it to me, but it never clicked, and we didn't have a strong musical family. I think it makes a difference. Can you see clear visual images of thinking of something? Yes. Not like constantly. It just depends. If I put my mind into it, yes. Yes. Do you have a deep awareness of feelings, dreams, ideas? Heck yes. Do you understand people? Do you have the ability to feel people's intentions? Do you have innate ability to measure trust or fear? Oh, heck yes. Do you have lots of friends? I think so. I really want friends. Do you react with strong opinions when controversial topics are being discussed? It depends on the topic. So, gosh, like politics, I could care less. So I'm just gonna have to put NA because there's so many topics that I don't care about. But then there's few that I'm like, well, I don't know. That one's hard. Depends on the topic. No. Okay. Do you spin tall tales and tell jokes and stories? Yes, I play myself a storyteller. Do you enjoy reading books on your free times? It depends on the book. If it's of my interest, heck yeah. If it's not, then heck no. And I got to remember this is supposed to be off the learner, and that still has not had the tools to be able to learn well. So really I should mark no, because originally that's how it was for me, but it's changed for me. It depends on topics. So I put NA because it depends on the topic. Do you explore patterns, categories, relationships, and abstract forms of logical thinking. Yes. Do you play a musical instrument? No? Mm-mm. You twitch fidgets while sitting in your chair? Wow, that depends. Now, this is supposed to be based on the learning environment. The total relaxed, cool, calm, collective Trisha, you'll never see tapping or moving. I'm just like a potato. But when I'm learning, oh my gosh, I'm drawing and I'm tapping and I'm twitching and moving because I'm trying to, when kids and people do that have deficits, especially auditory, and have an auditory learn, we'll have to keep on reawakening our brain to learn. So we'll do these things to reawaken our brain, get it stop daydream, get it focused. So I have to move and twitch it. So since this is the learning environment that I'm answering these, I have to say yes. Are you sensitive to nonverbal sounds in the environment? Yes, very sensitive. All right, can you compute arithmetic problems in your head? No. Now, it's a lot to be said about just test calculia and not having the concept of number. My husband says, how many people do you think are on the Auburn football stadium right now? And I said 1 million, and I was serious. He goes, no, try like 300,000, not 1 million. There's literally like no sense of numbers, no number concepts hardly. So how, of course, would I be able to do math well? Now, because my visual spatial reasoning being strong, I was always better and always been better with geometry because it includes shapes. Because remember, strong evaluative skills include color, shape, size, dimension. So geometry was my strongest, but you had to still apply equations to it of numbers and concepts. But at least it was my strongest. Can you spell words accurately or easily? No, I still have a problems with spelling, but I have the tools that helped it. A ton of tools that have helped it. And I know what to look for exactly. And y'all know it's the middle position. For me, it's middle position where that's the last to be processed. So I omit the sound. When I omit it, I'll either keep it deleted altogether or I'll substitute a sound. I rarely add or repeat a sound, but I have done it. I substitute sounds and omit altogether more than anything of those. Do you play chess, checkers, or strategy games to win? Okay, this is the deal about this one. It's visual spatial, and there isn't a game player that's not dyslexic because we like to solve problems too, visually spatially. So, huge game player. Can you clearly read charts, maps, and diagrams? Oh yeah. When we went, you'll appreciate this, Nina. Well, maybe you won't, but maybe you will. My family went to Ireland, and we said, let's just get in the car, take the map, and go through all the southern part of Ireland. And I got us all around Ireland. I was only like 23, no, 21. They wanted me to read the map and get us around, and I always thought that was so cool because visually, spatially, I'm strong with that, so got us all around. So I don't know what happened there. Okay. Let's see. Engaged in physical activities such as swimming, hiking, biking. Oh yeah, I'm really physical. Do you socialize with a great deal at school and around with the neighborhood? That's a great question. I'd love to, but I don't know. Innately, I'd want to, so I'm gonna press yes. Innately, I do. Do you seem to live in your own private inner world? I don't think so. If somebody with the neurodiversity isn't eccentric, I don't know who else is. So yeah, I think it's a little eccentric. Let's see. Do you learn best by relating and cooperating? That's a good question. I'm real open to what other people want to say and how they think, but then I'm so independent at the same time. I'm picky and what want to listen to and relate to. So I'm just saying no. I mean, no, I'm too independent. I don't know. Okay. Do you enjoy scary amusement rides? No, not really. It's not particularly my favorite. Do you despise experiments to test out things you don't understand? Good question. If I don't understand it, I'm not probably willing to experiment and go out on a limb. I don't understand it. I think that's what the neurodiversity is we take observations of our own, and then we form our own theory, and then so we do our own hypothesis, and then we test, and that's how the neurodiverse work. So there's no way I would probably go out and test something without understanding, because I probably have to do lots of observations first and get an understanding and read some things from some people. But it's mostly going to be based off my own observation, because that's the neurodiverse for you. I'm going to put no. Do you appreciate nonsense, rhymes, and tongue twisters? I appreciate them. Yes, I do. Do you like doing crossword puzzles and playing games such as Scrabble? I'm supposed to mark no, because I'm not supposed to like anything with language. But I'm such a game player, huge game player, so I have to mark yes. And what happened? Why did that one not take? I wonder why that one didn't take. Twisters and rhymes. Do you draw accurate representations of people and things? Do you draw accurate representation? I think so. Again, the neurodiversity, we're real observant and we're real evaluative of color, shape, size, dimension, and about color, shape, size, and about caring about people, animals, and nature. We will really be able to draw a good representation. Like I can see somebody for a second and know if they're sad and more empathetic too. So I'll know if somebody's sad almost right away. And we're really good with tone of voice. So I'll hear it if they're sad, like, so yeah, I think definitely. Be surprised if I don't pick up on it. Do you need to have music in order to study? Absolutely not. I like it silent. Do you like movies, slides, and photographs when learning new concepts? Movies, slides, photo. Oh yes, as much visual you can add to my learning, the better. Do you like to be alone to pursue personal interests, hobbies, and projects? Again, this one's very interesting because I'm very independent, but I really do like people and want to be around people. Do you like to be alone? No, I don't. I like being around people in that way if it's fun and they're not examining me and they're just doing their own art project and worried about themselves. Yes. They're thinking about looking at, oh, that reminds me. Chad and I go to art class and there's this lady in there. She's a really good experienced artist. And Chad and I are like, pretty good. But we're more on the learning stage because it hasn't been long that I realized I could even do artwork. It's only been about 8 years, but so she'll go, hey, let me see what you're doing. And so you'll show up your artwork and then she'll go, do you want to see mine? So it's like, to me, I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to, no. But so I guess it depends on, it says, do you want to pursue personal interest, hobby? But it depends on the person I feel is judging me, like that lady. But she was more interested in showing hers off, which was really funny. Do you cleverly mimic other people's gestures, mannerisms, and behavior? But I say we have strong evaluative skills. So yeah, there's so many people with dyslexia that are like actors and that can mimic people's gestures and do like exact of people, tone of voice, everything. What did I say? So yeah, I think so. I think we could do that well. That's funny. Do you need opportunities to learn by moving, acting? Yes. You rather report than do project work? Oh no, I would rather do a project any day over writing a report. Do you think you're a good reader? That's a very good question. Depends on if it's in my interest. It's not in my interest. No. Do you think you're a good reader? Gosh. No, I'm good. I'm good. Okay. So do you like math? No, no, not at all. Do you think setting goals with someone help you in school? So always setting goals is important. What are your interests? Space, dinosaurs, animals, nature, not so much trains and cars. Not really. Tell me more about your interests. Helping others. Okay. Now the next part will say, what do you note or observe? So it's like a reflection thing, what I note or observe from what was above. Say I've grown. I have grown a lot. There were a lot more yeses than I imagined if you would have asked 20-year-old Trisha. So there we go. It's always good to say that you've grown. Are you wanting to hear the results from an Albert coach? Yes, I would like to have coaches to be able to do this for me and for others that would be able to interpret. That's what I'm showing y'all today. Thank you for taking the time. You're nothing. I'm just put thank you. Thank you. Okay, send me a copy of the response. Yes, I could have a copy sent. Now, I'm gonna submit it. Why is it's gonna ask me to do the stairs? Who hates these things? I do. Okay, yay. Okay, so my response should be there under the original. Yep, it's up to 11, so it's there. Okay, so now, uh-oh. Okay, we're okay. Hold on. Where's mine? There's mine. Oh, because that's number 1, that's why. Maybe could have number 11, the last one. I remembered it was up to 10. Okay, now it's up to 11. That's mine. Okay, good, good. So here's mine, and to interpret it now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press print to interpret, and you could print off, of course. But I'm gonna show you something. And this could go to the schools. This could go to the parents by printing off or put it to a PDF. But I'm gonna show y'all something different. I'm going to do something different. I'll show y'all. I'm gonna save it to my desktop, and I'm gonna put Trisha. This is my eval. Save. Okay, now I'm gonna press File. I'm gonna press Save As. Is this what I wanted to do? No. Yeah. Okay. I have to save it again. I know this sounds crazy, but I'll show you what I'm doing. I probably did it wrong. Yeah, I did. Okay. Now, oh, now I go open it up on my desktop. Export to PDF. And make it to Word. The point of all of that is to export it as a Word document, because this is where I can do something special with it. So there's a faster way to make it into a Word document, but that's good that you know how. So now it's going to be Word. That's how I wanted it on Word. So it could be emailed this way, or you can transform it. I'm going to transform it to a really cool looking thing. My sway. The sway is colorful, engaging, inciting, fun. So anyway, so now mine's put into a sway. So I'm going to show y'all what a completed sway looks like. And that's not mine, of course, because mine would take work, and probably about, to complete mine, it'd be about 15 minutes. So we can't do that. So I'll show you a completed one of somebody else. So here's one. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, this is the one I want. So this person's name is not on here, so we're in good shape. Last name is not on there, so we're in good shape. Oh, that's his anger and shape. But I need the other one. I need gifts and strengths. Here's the gifts and strengths. But I didn't finish that one. Here's a gift and strengths. Here's another one. This is the one I want to show y'all. So this is the completed sway that parent, that one has a last name. Great. Okay, so hopefully y'all not see that again. So his top 3 gifts and strengths. Okay, I guess y'all can look at this first part and tell what his top 3 gifts and strengths were. Visual spatial, imagine that. His top 3 were visual spatial, and it has the parents, a few examples of why it was visual spatial for that person. And his next of the top 3 of gifts and strengths were body kinesthetic. And I give a few examples of where they had marked body kinesthetic. And his last one was logical. So I took all the logical mathematical ones, all of that related to music logic, which was left, and have it here under logical. So then I only gave a couple examples of those that were marked, but these again are his top 3. And then here's what the coach will do. They'll make the observer's notes. And these are possible careers of somebody that has his top gifts. Now, let me tell you, this is such exciting stuff, because so many parents of children that are neurodiverse think, well, what are they going to do one day? Are they just going to live at home? Are they going to work like at the convenience store down the road? I mean, what are they going to do? They feel so lost and so worried for their future. Based off their gifts and strengths, I give the top jobs of people who, for him, it was visual spatial, have strong visual spatial, body kinesthetic, and logical. And it's these top jobs. There's 3 groups of top jobs for the 3 different kinds of answers that I'm going to show y'all. And this is his. He, with those gifts and strengths, will be good at advertising, architect, artist, engineer, filmmaker, mechanist, pilot, computer graphic designer, and surgeon. Well, guess what I got back from the mom when she saw his gifts and strengths checklist? Well, thank you. That confirmed why we should have him in high school to take the beginning engineering class, beginning engineers class. I said, yep, you know your child. Yep, yeah, he's on the right path possibly with engineering based on his assessment. So it confirmed that he's on the right path. So they were relieved, considering they didn't tell me that he was going in engineering, beginning in engineering in high school, some program at this school that they have. I had no idea. It was based off his answers that I wrote that. So that was cool. But I got one cooler to share with y'all, but that one was cool. So then more of the coach's notes, which was me for him. I said, Connor is very logical and methodical, right? And this is me not knowing him. I had just sent the parents these evaluation to begin our evaluations and for them to fill out before I even started doing my part of the evaluation with them. He's creative and intentional in his planning. Of course, looking at his above answers, he's torn between his imagination and what's acceptable. Yep. The person who's visual spatial is also very image oriented, creative, but yet he'd also marked logical. And I know what that means. So those two conflict with each other, different parts of the brain, different types. So I knew he's getting some kind of infliction about, oh, not his logic. His logic is in conflict with his imagination and his creativity. Once he gets a hold of that, and what's acceptable, once he embraces his gifts and strengths, there's no limit to what he can achieve. He may be one of the few people that can walk into their dreams and be an architect. So that's really neat and interesting. So anyway, let me so that was one of the completed sways on a person I had done. Let me show y'all another. That's really cool. Only gifts and strengths today, guys. So where's the other one? Okay, so I know where to go. This is the other one. It's going to be different answers. Another child. Sent this to the parents, not having. Oh, another one. Why did I put last name on these? Should have checked. Okay, so top 3 for this child. Creative, imaginative, and I gave the examples, a couple examples, 3 examples to be exact. Oh, I did hers differently. Okay, people oriented, including herself, so she had inter and intra marked equally and balanced. So that was really cool to see. I mean, she could work alone and with people. That was really cool. And she's problem solution oriented. So she's problem solution oriented based off of what I saw. Observer's notes. Okay, so this again is a different set of neurodiverse jobs that are based off her learning interest that she could do, because her answers are different than the last one, right? Air traffic controller, actuary, computer systems analyst, accountant, hospitalist, lawyer, principal, detective, criminal investigator, architect again, top executive, and public relations. That's a lot based off her being inter and interpersonal and problem solver, as I mean, is one of all of her main things. So that makes sense. So I made these notes. Again, I hadn't worked with Annabelle. I talked to her parents briefly. I knew I was going to start an evaluation with her and got them the answers before I'd even started, based off of what they had answered. Annabelle cares for expressing herself in justice. She learns from what she can experience as well as what she's observed from others. Enter. She can create something by seeing the whole picture first, which is a gift. She's got strong intuition. She needs outlets and taking things apart and putting them back together. She needs to learn with music. That's all based off what she said. So guess what I got back from the parents on this one? This one was so touching. The mom said, I'm so glad she's got a cheerleader now that understands her and that will be working with her. And I've got tears in my eyes, but her dad is an absolute mess. So that means to me, I interpret that as she's saying, I nailed it. I nailed it. And I know they can look back at this really colorful thing that I've made based on that child's gifts and strengths when they start to doubt how their child's doing and go to, okay, yeah, remember, she's going to make it. She can do it. And she can, and she will. And she can also share this to Annabelle when Annabelle start doubting herself. Look, you can beat these things one day. It's turning to your learning style, and let's explore this more. I can teach you some things on the computer today, and let's go interview your principal. Or an architect. Let's go speak to a top executive. Encourage these things. Doesn't mean they're exactly going to be it, but the learning styles gives a good indication that and that's not going to change hardly. So anyway, that was a different set of jobs that you could do. Let me show you one more and then I'll let y'all go. Oh, that's mine that I got to work on. Can't wait to see what mine comes up with. Oh yeah, this is where I find it. The third one. Third one is going to look different than the last three. I mean, it just shows how everybody's different. Here's another. I'm going to skip through that real fast. Okay. His top was visual spatial, not surprising. As next was enter and intra. So two the same as the other girl, but this one's different. Body kinesthetic. It was heavy on body kinesthetic. Those were his top three. Visual spatial, what did I say? Inter and intrapersonal and body kinesthetic. So these are the types of jobs he can do based on my observer's notes. Uh-oh, it looks different, I know. Oh, I thought that looked different. He could do something with technology, graphic design, engineering, therapy. Remember that was the intra and inter mentioned. Management consulting, photography, interior design, intra and inter counseling, human resource management, teaching, public relations, social work, event management, fitness and wellness centers, clinics, municipal, provincial, recreation offices, sports governing, college and universities. I gave this person a lot more opportunities to look at government and health and wellness and self-employment. So I didn't narrow it down. I would give that one really open-ended, but it's still based off there. So Henry needs outlets of sports, photography, and other visual graphic arts. He needs to be able to move and learn. He needs cooperative and collaborative and independent time to learn and grow. He's balanced physically and with people skills. His learning is based off his interest in finding out why. He's interested in 3D information, what he can develop and invent. Through observations and pattern, he needs time to explore, research, and come to his own theory and hypothesis. He's ready to give his reinterpretation and recreation of what is expected to learn. So the parent got this one, and I hadn't heard back, so I don't have any feedback on this one. But I do meet with her today, and we go over this. We go over the anchor and shame checklist, which is the ultimate SEL, and we go over his evaluation on his learning difference. So I'm gonna try to go over all three today with her. And so anyway, that's that. Any questions? Any questions? So basically, when it comes to this one and the anger and shame checklist, I wish my mom would have had it for me when I was young. So that would have given us some sort of direction and goal and idea of what gifts and strengths I had, because I had none. I just thought I wasn't able to do hardly anything. And be honest with you, because I wasn't good academically, so how could I be good at much? That's what everybody put emphasis on. So I wish I would have had this, and I wish I would have the anger shame checklist, because I know I would have been able to be consciously aware of how to be replacing that with strength and empathy. But oh well, I'm providing this for others. So I'll put the links to these two because they are free for anybody. And there we go. I'm going to go get to work on some of them now. So I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.